Miss Spain was the first ever transgender Miss Universe contestant. That is, he was the first man to compete in this women's competition. Which brings me back to a point that I feel I have to repeat 10 times a week. I can't help myself, and I can't let them get away with this kind of thing without pointing out the irony and hypocrisy of it. If appropriation is even a thing at all, then this has to be appropriation, right? And this is not just a man competing in Miss Universe. This is not just an example of appropriation. This isn't just one version of appropriation. This is quintessential appropriation. This is what the word appropriation was invented to describe. A man traipsing around in a bikini, claiming to be a woman, intruding on a female competition, in the process depriving a real woman of the chance to be Miss Universe, and also taking the attention and spotlight away from all the real women who are competing. Miss Philippines is not getting all the headlines today. The headlines is going to Miss Spain, who's not even a miss. The thing about the kind of appropriation that your daughter supposedly does with her Disney costume is that she's not directly hurting or affecting anyone, okay? It's not like she dressed up as Moana, so that means that some Polynesian girl can't, okay? Maybe you'd have a case. Maybe there'd be a case. If there was only one Moana costume in the world, just one, and a little white girl from Nebraska scooped it up so that a Polynesian girl couldn't have it, maybe you'd almost have a case of appropriation there. Because that's what appropriation is. When you appropriate something, you're not just taking part in it or participating, because if all you're doing is participating or taking part, then it's just participation. It's not appropriation, okay? There's a difference between participation and appropriation. And so much of what we call appropriation is actually merely just participation. It's just a person partaking in this thing. To appropriate means that you are depriving someone else of something that is rightfully theirs. You are taking it away from them, okay? And so most of what we call cultural appropriation is not cultural. It's not appropriation of any kind because it's not being taken away from anyone. If a white person listens to rap music, they aren't taking anything away from black people. In fact, if anything, they're contributing. They're contributing, the rap industry is kept afloat in large part by white people who pay money for this music. So they're not taking anything. But in this case, and with the appropriation of womanhood, so often there is something actually being taken away from women. Okay, so this guy is literally taking the place of a real woman, which means that some real woman in Spain couldn't have that spot. There can only be, for each, I'm pretty sure this is how the beauty pageants work, right? Miss Universe, there can only be one representative of each country. And presumably there are many beauty pageants, many beautiful actual women in Spain, and none of them were allowed to be Miss Spain and compete for a chance to be Miss Universe because they gave that spot to a man. So something was really being taken away from a woman in that case. And on top of that, he's also getting the media attention, which means a bunch of real women will not.